I'm one of the greatest doing it, greatest doing it. History will admit.
Handoff, Elliott trying to come outside right. He ran over a guy.
Put that left arm out and said, no, not today.
One of the greatest doing it. History will admit.
Cowboys are thinking Super Bowl thoughts, and Ezekiel Elliott, here we go, Danny. Who was the last rushing champion to play in the Super Bowl?
I'm going to say Shaun Alexander of the Seattle Seahawks.
Okay.
Come on.
I'm going to accuse you of cheating.
No,
I'm
never.
The answer went up in the prompter.
This is why I know. 2005 was my rookie year in Detroit. That's where the Super Bowl was played.
Okay, I'm going to believe you because you're an honest person. That is the correct answer. The answer during our break, the answer when it was rolled into the teleprompter. If we can shoot the teleprompter right now, you can see it. Just move your camera this way. Right there, your prompter right here. Here I am. I'm really ruining this entire segment. There it is. Okay, I'm going to accuse you of having seen that.
My friends and family know integrity matters to me. I would not cheat. I've gotten 100 of them wrong.
I don't believe you. I'm not going to lie to you. I think that one. I'm not 100% sure I'm comfortable with the way that all worked out.
Wow.
With that said, is Ezekiel Elliott the best running back in the National Football League? We gave Dan some homework this weekend. I want a fundamental list. The top 5 running backs in football right now. Go.
I'm going to go with number 5 being Todd Gurley. Still one of the premier backs in the NFL. I know last month of the year, last year, dealt with the injuries. Didn't see him a ton in the Super Bowl. There's some question marks about his health, but he's had a whole offseason off. And if he's healthy, and even 95% version of this guy, he is still one of the great dual threat runner or throwers or runner or pass catchers in the NFL. Number 4 is my guy, Christian McCaffrey. Last year put up almost 2,000 yards of total offense. He is one of the better pass catching receiving running backs that we've had in the NFL in a long time. And he's going to be a focal point of their offense. But really what he took a step forward doing last year was running the football, and I expect to see even a greater step forward for him next year. Le'Veon Bell, because remember, we have not seen him play in a long time, and it's nice the fact that we've got him in your team's colors.
Yes, we do.
I'm excited to see what Adam Gase does with him. Move him all over the field. Let's hand it to him. Let's throw screens to him. Let's put him out in space. Let's get him one-on-ones. I've said this. He's the great case study for the NFL because if it works out and he changes this offense, running backs become important again. But I want to watch him play in that offense. Number 2 is the holdout king, Ezekiel Elliott. I've talked about so many times of how he is the standard for that offense, the focal point of that offense. When you sit down and go, okay, we need to get a first down, what do we do with Ezekiel Elliott? We got to go on a drive here. Where's Ezekiel Elliott? He's the most important person on one of the best teams in the NFL this year. That's why he's at number 2. And then number 1, listen, I don't know if we've seen a guy like this come into the NFL where he does everything so well. Saquon Barkley of the New York Giants. The fact that he has the power and the lateral strength, the vertical speed, the pass catching, you trust his smarts. There is not a thing that you ask an NFL running back to do that he can't do at an excellent level. That's why he's number 1.
There's also not a thing you can ask an NFL player to be sort of just as a citizen and a guy than Saquon Barkley gives you. I don't have a lot of arguments with this. Let me bring Damian Woody in. And is there anything glaring in this
you want no action
that you disagree with?
I would probably say just flip these 2 right here, only because I haven't seen this guy in a year.
Yeah,
Le'Veon is, I think he's one of the best backs. I've seen this guy last year. He was fantastic, so I would move him up a little bit. But other than that,
it's perfect.
No, I wouldn't call anything you do
perfect. Another thing that I think is worth pointing out, and we mentioned it in the tease, whether you cheated or not. Shaun Alexander is the last NFL rushing leader to make it to the Super Bowl. The last rushing leader to win the Super Bowl was Terrell Davis in the late 90s. The last team to lead the league in rushing and win the Super Bowl was the 85 Bears, who had probably the greatest defense of all time. So the question is any of this the recipe to winning a championship? The Rams basically got to the Super Bowl without Todd Gurley last year. I'm not sure what this list does for the value of running backs.
Well, I would say that these running backs, 3 of the 5 of them are on playoff and Super Bowl contending teams, the Rams, the Panthers, and the Cowboys. This one is a big question mark. Again, he's a great case study for the NFL this year. And Saquon, because of the deficiencies around the team. I mean, that speaks to how great that guy is, though.
Perhaps.
Like, he's number one, and the team around him isn't.
Okay, so we'll see. It's a good list. I don't think we have an enormous amount of argument with that. Let me then get you back to the overwhelming story of this morning. The performance of Jalen Hurts last night in his debut in Oklahoma was nothing short of spectacular, accounting for 6 touchdowns. He ran for 3. He threw 3 more. He threw for 332 yards and rushed for 176. Of all the players Oklahoma's had over the past 15 seasons, Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, Sam Bradford, DeMarco Murray, Hurts' 6 touchdowns were the most by any Sooner in a season opener. And you look at the names on that list, Murray wound up leading the league in rushing. And obviously, Baker Mayfield wound up winning the Heisman. We've seen what these guys have done. So it was just that kind of good. So part of it, obviously, is the brilliance of the coach. Another part of it is Jalen Hurts, at least for one game, doing stuff many of us didn't know he could do. Show us what he did.
Well, I want to talk about the brilliance of the coach a little bit, because everyone in football has heard of RPO, the run-pass option. Well, Lincoln Riley has the PRO, the pass run option, last night against Houston. So Houston defensively is in a quarters defense, meaning these 4 guys, you're going to go back and you've got a quarter of the field. But let's focus on these underneath defenders first. Quarters defense is a zone defense. Those 3 guys have a zone until someone comes into that zone. Then it becomes a match or a man type of concept. So Lincoln Riley's going to go attack that a little bit. So what he does with these receivers, okay, I want you to go vertical. He's got to carry you. You're in his zone. I'm going to send the running back up there. You've got to carry him. He's going to be in your zone. So now on the front side of the field, you flush that side of the field. Those guys are going to be gone. He takes this backside receiver, sends him vertical. So now that safety, you got to go. Corner, you got to go. And then he's going to do this. He's going to take CeeDee Lamb and put him on a shallow cross. And I want everyone to focus on 2 people, that linebacker and this left guard. This is where the pass run option comes into play. Because what you're telling Jalen Hurts is, on this shallow cross, if this linebacker does not flow towards that shallow cross and go attack it, just throw it to him. Everybody on that side of the field is now gone. You throw it to him. But if he does do his rules and go attack that receiver, now look at this left guard that I pointed out. He's staring right at the linebacker, watching him go. Here comes the R in the PRO. We now turn this into quarterback draw, and I'm going to have an offensive lineman leading the way. You now have an offensive lineman blocking a free safety out in space. Look at the PRO space that you've created, and Jalen Hurts ends up with a 45-yard run. You give him the pass option first, the run second, built in together. Now what they do also is, we think of the play-action pass and getting big chunks as, I'm going to fake the ball to the running back, and that fake to the running back opens up the big play. What Oklahoma does is, look at, they're going to lead the way with the running back blocking, a tight end blocking, offensive lineman blocking. But look at Jalen Hurts. He's got the ball tucked in underneath his elbow, like he's a running back. This looks like a run play to the defense. Everybody watch these 4 defenders right here. Play action pass, you decide to, or try to attract the second level of the defense to open up big gashes. Look how downhill they are and the space that is created in the pass game downfield, because this is Oklahoma's version of the play action pass. Since there's such a weapon with Jalen Hurts running the football, you're going to create chunks, just different ways as a coach.
So that's magnificent play design, obviously, on a lot of different levels, and we see variations of it, Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, and now this. How good was he?
Very good. I mean, that is the best version of a guy that was 26-2 as a starter, and it was the most complete he looked as a college quarterback. And now the question does become, Greeny, what are his NFL futures if he continues to perform at that level?
I don't think there was anyone when he was at Alabama talking about him as an NFL prospect. I think that all changed last night. Meanwhile, we wrap up the college football weekend tonight, a Monday night special, and it should be great. Quarterback Ian Book leading number 9 Notre Dame against Louisville. That's tonight, 8 Eastern on ESPN. And don't forget, you can watch it live on the ESPN app. Coming up, Tom Brady says he wants to play a few more years. But have they already decided on his heir? Feels like they have. We'll explain next. Get Up on ESPN.